sugar, I'm still a sugarholic. Sugar rewires your brain.
Yeah, it's
And
awful.
yeah,
It's
it's
a
a terrible.
freaking addiction.
Well, it is because it's made to be like it's a it's such a joy. It's like a joyous thing, sugar,
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at any writings from history, the things that they talk about with great um just romantic reverie is sugar,
Yeah.
honey, and honeysuckle, and all the things that are sweet.
Yeah.
These are the joys of life. In every celebration throughout history, part of the celebration is sweets.
Yes.
Sweets actually represent like the fullness of life.
I
It's
know.
like this is what la dolce vita. You know what I mean? The sweet life. Oh, it's when life is good, it's sweet.
Can you
And
imagine if we were rewarded with broccoli at those times? Seriously. Like we'd all be geniuses by now, probably.
no,
Over the course
we'd
of
all
the
be
centuries, you know what I mean? Like that
yeah,
behavioral modification. If
yeah,
we,
but but the thing is, though, the problem is broccoli doesn't light up your brain the way sugar
I
does.
know.
And your body is not designed to receive broccoli the way it is designed to receive sugar. So the first thing that happens is as soon as you put sugar on your tongue, you only taste,
Yeah.
a few things, right? Salt, sugar, umami, and what,
Savory.
bitter, savory, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
salt and savory. So
Yeah.
anyway, so the fact is, the moment you put it on your tongue, it sends a message to your brain. Good
Immediately.
stuff is happening.
Party time.
Right. But then what people don't realize is you have sugar receptors in your gut.
Yeah.
So then there's a second reinforcement. And then finally your brain goes ding, 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 ding. And so if broccoli did that, man, that would be so good. Because
Wouldn't it
we'd
be
be the
good?
healthiest people, like people would just live.
I know. Well, so I think all the, like with acai and these superfoods and the power shakes, I think people are trying to mimic that sugar response with the healthiest version possible, which is great, but it
Abs-
still doesn't give you like the I'm in Vegas winning the lottery feeling.
No, it doesn't. And
It gives you like, oh, I'm on a, healthy vacation. This
yeah.
feels pretty good.
Right. And so, but, I use that with banana and berries.
Mm,
So, cruciferous berries, which are the darkest berries, whatever the
yeah.
darkest berries you can find, which, so I make smoothies, right? And in my smoothies, I put all the best stuff you can put,
Yeah.
right?
Me too.
And then I trick my brain into thinking I'm having something good by throwing in a banana and some blueberries and some blackberries. And guess what? When it's done, all you take, and then I take a bunch of cinnamon and I
Oh,
throw a bunch of
oh,
cinnamon in there. And so all I taste is banana, berries, and cinnamon. But really what I'm drinking is kale and spinach and
yeah.
carrot and broccoli and chia and um, flax. All that's in there, and I don't taste any of it. All I
Yeah.
taste is banana and berries, and guess what? And then I can't eat for like hours because it's so filling.
Except you
You
need some nuts.
Well, yes,
I
yeah,
put a scoop of, I just had one. The almost exact same thing that you just mentioned. I just had it. I
yeah.
probably have blueberries in my teeth. If you look
No,
closely.
you don't. Your teeth are
Okay.
like pearly white.
Well, no, I'm going to the dentist tomorrow. I need some work. Yours are
Uh,
white. I was noticing. What do you
That's
do?
because I'm black. And I'll never forget one time this guy, me and my friend Lee Morgan, we were standing in a pizza shop, and this dude, he was like, "Man, you black guys, man, you guys have great smiles, man. I just love the way black people's teeth look. How do you get your teeth so white?" And then Lee went, "Why don't you try brushing them motherfuckers?"
Oh my God.
But yeah,
But I wanted to talk about, in particular, what's been going on in the system without going too far with it, with the whole societal system of what all the change and disruptions and
sure.
positive and negative that's going on. And I did want to talk about toxic masculinity a little bit, if you want to.
I don't care.
You don't care? All right.
I mean, I'm pretty toxic. I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? I'm about as
This
poison
is
as you
going to
can,
be a short conversation.
about as poison as you can get. Okay. But I'm the kind of poison that you want to, I'm like hemlock. I'm a romantic poison. I'm the kind of poison you find in Shakespeare. You know what I mean? Women want to put me in a goblet and drink me. Now, I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't know why I'm killing myself. I don't know why I'm doing this, but yeah, you know.
God, we do that. So many.
Well, you know
I
what? You
do it.
do.
I've done it. I do
You
it.
do know why you're doing it.
I
It's
know
like,
why.
listen, everybody gets something out of what they're doing. And this is what people do not want to make peace with. Okay? The rich guy that goes out with what the so-called gold digger, right?
Mm-hmm.
This guy wants a young, hot woman who will occasionally have sex with him, okay? Because
Right.
she ain't having sex with him all the time,
Right.
because otherwise she can't take it.
Yeah.
You're disgusting. You disgust me. So I need time to recover from the last sex so I can make myself okay with having sex with you again. Now, if you are a person that has any respect for yourself, this is a horrible situation that you want nothing to do with.
Right.
But what you want more than self-respect is a young, hot woman.
Validation.
Right. So you overlook that so that you can be with this young, hot girl. All the while, her disdain for you starts to transfer onto you and you start hating yourself. And that hatred for yourself becomes a reflection inwardly that emanates outwardly, and you start punishing everybody around you because you can't stand yourself. Okay? So why do you do it? Because you have placed having this young, hot status symbol, having sex, the physical joy and pleasure of, 3.5 minutes of, feeling her boobs and looking at her beautiful face and being inside of her. That 3.5 minutes is worth more to you than how you feel about yourself. Okay? So that's why you do it. Well, you can't say to yourself, I don't know why I do this. No, you know exactly why you do it.
Everybody knows. Yeah. Nobody wants to
You're
face
not
it.
willing to make peace with why you do it.
Right.
You know?
Well, that's a good lead into my new book.
Oh, really?
It is. It's about that, like our original pains, our wounds, whether it's insecurity or, I'm not enough or I'm not lovable or I don't belong here or whatever the thing is. We don't want to deal with that feeling that we've had most of our lives. And so we do all kinds of stuff to try to cover it up. And we ask other people to validate us. Other people make us okay. Then we grow resentful and angry. Exactly what you just said.
Men are very visual. They're not more visual than women, but they place more emphasis on visual than women. And the reason why they place more emphasis is because we have, through our evolutionary tract, the way we figure out if you are worthy of having children is how you look. Okay? That's our evolutionary tract. Okay, that doesn't mean that we can't help ourselves. I am not making that our men can't help what they, no, that's bullshit. Okay. All right. Women have the same sexual drive as men, period.
Yeah.
So if there's a woman who says, hey, I'm committed to this person. Yeah, I see that guy over there. And Michael B. Jordan, I would love to have him blow my back out. Yes, I would love that. And yes, I have fantasized about that, but I know that I have control over myself. I'm in a committed, loving relationship, and I'm going to remain so. Okay. If a woman could do that, a man can do it too.
Of course.
Right?
Yes. Thank you.
Right. That's all there is to it. So, but the fact is that it has been proven, Dr. Helen Fisher, I don't know if you've read any of her work, but she put people into an MRI and found out that men are more apt to fall in love, and falling in love is not love.
Right.
Falling in love is a chemical response to stimuli.
Right.
And men fall in love far more easy. Okay. They become far more emotional, much quicker than women. And they are stimulated by a woman. So the whole love at first sight thing, that's a male concept.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah. We made that up.
Yeah.
Because we can have that happen to us 3 times in a month.
Right. Oh my God.
Women do not do that. As a matter of
I can speak for myself. They do not.
No,
I mean,
women-
I've always said there's very few people that I'm truly attracted to. Like people go, I'm too picky or whatever. It's not even about that for me. It's, we, or at least me, scan so many different things to even say, are you attractive to me?
Exactly.
It's not even about the way they look. It's about the way they carry themselves, the way they walk, the way they care, the way their eyes move, the way, the hand, like everything, it's all involved. And for men, it's like,
Yes.
I smell a pretty
And
flower
so,
over there.
right. So here's the story for men. Here's the most men's story. I saw her from across the room and I knew she was the one.
Yeah.
Even though that had happened to me 8 times before at the same party.
Yeah.
Even till I knew she was the one. No, she was the one who responded, or she was the one that talked to you. Even if, here's the story for most women. When I first met him, I didn't like him.
Yeah. It's true.
You don't hear that story from a man. When I first met her, I didn't like her.
You don't. That's
No.
right.
Yeah, you don't hear that from a man. It's always, I saw her and I was like, oh my God, it was like a lightning ball. And from the woman, it's, when I first met him, he got on my nerves. I was like, who is
He
this
was
guy?
nice.
I don't like him.
I wasn't sure if he was good looking.
He was nice. He was okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Chuck, I want to ask you something.
And the reason is.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go. The
reason no.
What?
I was just going to say the reason is that women are more analytical when it comes to love. Men are more emotional. And but you would think it was the other way around.
Well,
you
because we make it the other
rom-com.
way around. Yes, we make it the other way around. It's all made up. Yeah. Men, like romance.
So,
when I think of romance,
go ahead, ask away.
Well, let me just say this. When I think of romance and music and all those kinds of things, it mostly comes from the man historically and just, I think, naturally. Don't you think? Yeah.
Absolutely. When women write poems, they write poems about nature. When men write poems, angry. They write poems about women.
Yeah.
Right. So, it's if you look at the vast history, the recorded history of love, it's the man going, I cannot live without you, and you are my life. That's what it is.
So in this topic,
a woman didn't write Romeo and Juliet.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Why? Because most women's idea of romance is not a suicide pact.
Right.
Most women's idea of romance is, okay, well, if you kill yourself for me, I'm flattered, bitch. I'm flattered. Well, I think respect is the word. I think here's the difference between masculinity and toxic masculinity. Masculinity is being comfortable in how you feel as a man. Because guess what? I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how women feel. I know how I feel. Okay. And when I look at you and my body starts to tingle and do certain things, like I'm a high school kid, that's called attraction. It's called sexual attraction. And I was designed to have that.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody got to chase somebody.
But as you said earlier, you also have the ability and the skills to withhold yourself and not go attack someone or be obnoxious or whatever, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You got to be respectful. It's like I was raised by women too. That might be a big part of it. Like the men were there too, but the women were the most influential part of my life. And they were the ones that, told you like, this is how you act and this is what you say and this is what, don't ever do that. And this is what a gentleman is and this is what a man is. And like, so I got a lot of my information from the women in my family. And, so like I said, if I want you to know how I feel, I'm going to tell you how I feel. Okay. Yeah. And you're going to know. And, but at the same time, respect says that you read your audience while you're interacting with them.
Yeah. And at work, like,
work is a different story now. So I have a joke where I say, I am so thankful for the Me Too movement because I used to struggle with what I should say and what I shouldn't say. And now I just don't say anything. Right. And it's all working out. Thank you, Me Too, because it is working. And so the workspace is this, professional.
Yes.
Okay. And I've always been, now my father was an entrepreneur. So, the workspace, his thing was like, HR, here's the deal. Because I worked for him. He was like, you're my son. You cannot walk around here and say what you want to say. Like, you cannot get me sued.
Right.
All right. And so I say to men all the time, if you are in the workspace, you are at work. All right. So what is professionalism? Is showing a coworker sexual pictures of any kind, is that professional? You know damn well that's not professional. I don't care how much of a friend. I don't care if it's a guy. I don't care if it's a girl. You know that's not professional.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? What is professional? Here, I'm going to give you a quick definition that everyone can take and adopt for the meaning of professional. Your mother is your coworker. Boom! Done. Professional. Mom is coworker.
That's pretty good.
To your mother, if she was standing here right now,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say to your mother if she was standing here right now? Okay? That's the meaning of professionalism. You ain't got to go no further than that. You don't have to worry about anything. If you talk to people the way you would your mother in the workplace, you will never, ever violate any HR code.
Well, where do you think the problem started with men thinking it's okay to?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
Where do you think it started where men thinks it's okay to assert themselves, say, sexual comments, degrade women, take them, have them, abuse them, hurt them, demean them? Where do you think that started? Do you think it's just in the nature, or that our society has fed that and fueled that?
So what happens is this. After World War II, when women entered the workplace in mass, the lack of professionalism that men exhibited towards one another, like I said, would you talk to your mother this way? Well, no. So that means that you don't even talk to your guys like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you don't talk about sex to your buddy on the job, because that's not professional. Okay. That's for the bar. All right. That's not for the job. So what happened was women entered this place. Men felt, one, threatened. When men feel threatened, they often go to a place of discomfort for the person who threatens them. We do that to each other all the time.
Like what? Like, explain that.
Okay, so when a man feels threatened, he will find a way to attack the other man that threatens him.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's race, he'll use race. If it's size, he'll use size. If it's ability, he'll use ability.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on the basketball court, you trash talk. And if you know he's thin-skinned, you talk about his mother.
Mm-hmm.
Your mama this, your mama that. Whatever you can do to get to that person so that you now have some power.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you get people to respond to you in anger, when you get people to respond to you in emotion, you now are in control.
Right.
So women come in, the men are threatened. What do? First, they try to make them feel inferior. They try to say they can't do the job. Then women show that they can do the job. Now, what are you left with? Well, you have to you got to attack her emotionally. So then what does that lead to? It leads to intimidation. It leads to trying to offend people. It leads to, you ever see people that seem like they're trying their best to be an asshole?
Yeah.
And that's toxic. And it's like, damn, you are trying to be an asshole. Yeah. Well, the reason they're doing that is because, as we would say, they're trying to get a rise out of you. Well, it's not just get a rise out of you. What they're trying to do is establish dominance. They're like because dogs. They're like threatened. Little dogs,
yeah.
Because
so toxic masculinity.
So
toxic masculinity.
Two dogs walking down the street.
Yeah. Sorry. I was going to say, so toxic masculinity
is a man being threatened.
Yeah. Feeling insecure because he feels threatened.
That's right. So when you see a man acting that way, guess what you're looking at? You're looking at a scared man.
Mm-hmm.
See, because when a man's not scared, he has no reason. So I'll put it to you this way. Two dogs walking down the street. Which dog barks? The big Rottweiler or the little poodle? Which one barks? Poodle. Right. Why is the little poodle barking?
Because he feels threatened.
That's right. The Rottweiler is like, are you fucking kidding me?
Uh-huh.
Really, dude? You're a snack.
What? So then how do we change this then, truly? Not just all the BS that's going on right now in the world. Not all of it's BS, right. But how do we then we need to change the dynamic of how we're raising men. Right?
Right. So here's the thing. The first thing you have to do is what women have brought into the workplace and into social situations that didn't exist before was a different means of conflict resolution, a different means of bless you. Oh,
got another one.
yeah.
No, good.
Oh, good for you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's allergy season. But so they brought a different dynamic to the workplace. And that means that men can no longer respond the way they used to, which of course is going to that will always create conflict. Okay. Because you're saying, I can't do what I used to do. And whenever you tell somebody they can't do something, you have automatically created conflict.
Right.
Okay. So what has to happen is stop trying to change behavior and start trying to change motivations. So, do you want to be a good man? Do you want to be a good person? Do you want to be a contributing member of society that is respectful? Do you want to build up or do you want to tear down? Now, most people, if you don't put them on the spot, they want to build up. They don't want to tear down. No, don't get me wrong. Some people want to tear down.
Yeah. But
there's some people are just broken and they're just ugly inside and they're mean and they're nasty because they're in pain.
Yes.
And I don't know if you've ever been in real pain, but you can never talk to somebody in real pain and have them be nice to you. Okay? You will never talk to somebody who's in real pain and have them say, oh, by the way, I've always loved the way you do. No.
Yeah.
You know what they're going to say? Oh, fuck. Get the fuck away from me.
Right.
You understand? That's pain.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah.
That's pain. That's motivated by pain. So those people you can't get to. Don't you know, what are you doing? Those people need real help and you can't help them. Now there are other people that are caught up in the current. That's what I call them. They're caught up in the current. Okay? So what you can do is move them out of the current and that person so change the motivation. You know? So if we change the conversation from how to stop being an asshole to how to be a really great guy at work, I guarantee you we would get more buy-in from men.
It reminds me because I'm raising this puppy right now, and you know, back in the day, the way you raised a puppy was you yelled at it, you swatted it, you scolded it, you threw it outside, whatever. And of course now they're going, no, it's all about positive reinforcement. Let's change the whole perspective. To only tell the puppy when they're doing good. Only use your hands when you're loving them, when they feel safe. You know, it's the same exact thing. It's like, what's our focus here? Are we focusing on, you know, bringing out all the bad qualities and just shame, bad. Here's more pain on top of your pain. Or as you're suggesting, the motivation to, hey, you know, you're okay. We can be okay. And I believe that you want to be a better person and a good person. And what does that look like? You know?
Yeah.
Not enough people are talking about it though. I mean, I don't think.
No, I don't think they are, because guess what? That's what I just said. That's not a debate that's worth listening to. It's not a fight. People like, you know, we're a spectator society. We like fights.
Yeah.
You know, we like fights. And so if you tell me I can't and I say F you, that's a fight. And people like that.
Yeah.
You know, that's entertaining.
Yeah.
Now we're watching.
News ratings are going up. Who's going to watch the news when we're sitting down having pacifying, you know, uplifting, healing conversations? We
exactly
did this, you know, now let's reframe that. You know, nobody wants to watch that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Gosh, our side is so motivated by such, I don't want to say wrong things, bad things, and I know it's trying to shift right now, but it's frustrating. You know, as a person who works in emotional and mental health primarily, it's so frustrating when I see, I mean, it's everywhere, you know, just people, as you say, in pain, people struggling, people suffering, people feeling insecure and not knowing what to do about it, feeling alone, not knowing what to do about it, and then acting out from those places, you know, and there's no support system for them whatsoever. Anyway, that's my little spiel.
No, you're absolutely right. And, you know, but there is a support system. Like, you are the support system right now. It's just a really tiny support system.
Yeah.
That's
Hello.
all. Yeah.
No, there's a lot of people kind of, you know, going that way, but it's, anyway. I appreciate you talking about that. One thing I love about you is you can talk about anything.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. I didn't know that was coming.
It is
Oh,
so
God.
true. I mean, we
I,
could talk about nuts.
I don't know if that's
I
a
mean,
good thing, though.
not male nuts, you know, the actual peanuts, like when we started. You talk about relationships, you talk
Right.
about science, you talk about, I mean, you're a comedian. I guess you have to have such a wide berth of knowledge about the human race, about life. But it's amazing. What can't you talk about?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. What can't I? I don't know. I'm trying my best to experience as much. I used to really be down on myself because I've done so many things in my life that I feel I would call drifting and failure.
Mm.
And then as I went back, you're gonna make me cry, Jesus.
Mm.
As I went back over my life and I looked at all of these things that I have done that just didn't work out, I took something away from every single one of those experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I have dated a lot of women and I have been involved in a lot of relationships and non-relationships with women. And I still get flashes of those relationships
Mm-hmm.
and I think about them and I'm like, what? Why was that person here?
Mm-hmm.
Like that, people are not disposable and they're not, um, they're not Kleenexes that you use. And so why was that person here? And, the more you think about it, and then you find things come back up and they
Yeah.
resurface, like dusted fingerprints that allow you to look back at the past and say, that's why this was happened. That's why this person was here. This is what I was supposed to do. This is what I learned from them. This is what I'll not do again. And so I think, you know, maybe that's why I am the way I am. I don't know. I read a lot too, maybe.
Well, you had to have, I mean, I think where you and I are similar, if I could be so bold to say that I'm not a, well-known comedian or anything, but I too have done a lot of different things. And I look back at times in my life, I felt like a drifter or a little lost or like reaching for things that some of them weren't, within my reach or they weren't sticking. And I felt like a failure. And then I felt like I'm confusing people. And I feel like, am I having some kind of, what's my motivation here? What am I truly good at? But when I look at you, I see someone who's very well rounded and very educated and knowledgeable and interested in life. You're interested, and that's why you can show up on HGTV and talk about houses or whatever the heck you talk about. And then you can show up on the Today Show and talk to 3 women about relationships and 3 guys about what it's like to be a guy. And that's why you can stand in front of an audience, because you have a sensitivity and a sense about them because of yourself, and you have that empathy that allows you to connect with those people. So everything that you've done, like you said, I don't see it at all like a failure. Me either. Now, I look at it and go, all of that was information, and it fed me and it nurtured me, and I see it nurture you. But it is amazing. Like when I was of course I didn't have to read too much about your bio because we've done this before, we've
Yeah.
interviewed.
We've
I've
known each other
interviewed
for a
you
while.
before.
Yes.
Yeah, but I really didn't know much about your science interest. And then you're, co-hosting this podcast, StarTalks, is that what it's called?
Yeah. With
Yeah.
Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, who was an astrophysicist and one of the world's foremost science educators. And through him, I've been able to explore and express my love of science. And science to me is magic. If you look at Harry Potter,
Mm-hmm.
Harry Potter is magic with spells. Science is magic with math and materials, and it works.
Oh,
It's
wow.
like it ain't like Harry Potter where you just write it and dream it. Like scientists look at situations, they want to know why it's happening, and in that discovery, they find out so much more than the questions they ever asked. And that's the beauty of it. I love the inquisitive nature and base of science. It's all about scientific discovery is all about asking and answering questions and not being right. This is what I love most about science.
Yeah, they leave space for the discovery and exploration, right?
And guess what, man? That, when it comes to not being right, that is where I am a Viking. Okay? I am a straight up berserker when it comes to fucking shit up and being wrong. Oh, yes. I am great at that. And so what I have learned is that that's okay. I've made tons and tons of mistakes in my life. And my mother used to say to me all the time, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to make them twice. It's not okay to learn something. So, that's science. It's also comedy. Comedy. You go out on the stage, you say a joke, it doesn't work. You're like, I know that's funny. And then you start working on it to find out, how do I say this so that people understand what I'm thinking and I'm connecting with them, and then we can all laugh at it. Yeah. So, science and comedy have a lot in common. And being intellectually curious is the foundation of science. I'm not necessarily sure if it's the foundation of comedy, because I know too many stupid ass comics.
That's what I mean. You're constantly taking on life and working through it all the time. I think being a comedian is one of the bravest things a person can do. One time I was super drunk, and I think I was at a church. It was a party or whatever, but it was held at a church. And I decided to get
that's a church I want to attend. That's the kind of church I want to go to.
I decided, there was like an open mic thing, and I decided I think I can do this. And I got up there and rattled off 2 jokes that were just terrible. And it was the most humiliating feeling I've had in most of my life. And at that point I was like, it takes a special person that has so much bravery and courage to stand up here and do this.
Or maybe we just don't know when we're being humiliated.
You can just laugh at yourself and go on.
Maybe we just don't understand the concept of humiliation.
So, Chuck, what is your goal, or have you met your professional goal in your life?
No. It's funny. Now we're into my therapy sessions because
which are not with me, just by the way, for those listening.
No, they're not, for those of you listening. But I talked to my therapist about this because I haven't reached any of the goals that I set, but yet I've done so much. I've done a lot.
Yeah.
And I have to actually step back and recognize that I have done a lot. I also have made a life. I've raised children, and I mean, they're still young. I haven't quite raised them yet because, they're young. But I mean, they look like they're well on their way, and I'm pretty much about to just let them go altogether and get back to my own life. But the fact is that, I've for the last 20 years, I've been doing comedy, and I haven't worked like a job, in all that time. And, I've keep having successes that I don't think are successes because they don't last. But that is not necessarily what the definition of success is. You know, I have a show right now for Disney that's coming out, maybe not. We shot it, and now they're going through stuff, and I can't talk about it, but I don't know what's going on with it. And it gives me a great deal of anxiety because I'm like, wow, once again, I got another TV show and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
And
it's amazing how we focus on those things that feel like that. It's instead of
I'm the guy that got the TV show.
Yeah. I had the opportunity and I did this. Like, how amazing is that?
Yeah. How many people does Disney give a show to? Okay. Right. It's it's not a lot, in the, scheme of things.
Right.
Yeah. So, but, in terms of goals, my goals were to be famous, rich also, but money is a tool. So,
well, what is it about being famous? And I'm just
so fame is power.
So for you,
see, some people like fame because they want to feel good about themselves, and they like it when you go someplace and people go, "Hey," which happens to me. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. I go places and I don't care where it is. Even when I leave the country, I've been in places, you know, that people are like, hey man, like they
Aren't
don't know
you
my
the
name, but they're like, I love you.
uh-huh.
You know what? So, or they'll say, hey man, I love you on this, and it's the wrong TV show. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, okay, great. That's humbling. It's like, okay, I'm famous enough
I know.
that you know,
I've
but
signed
I'm
autographs for people, for other
right.
people.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, clearly you don't know who I am, but clearly you do.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, they're
You know,
confused.
you singled me out to tell me that I'm the wrong person, which is great. You know, now I feel like a black guy in a police lineup. Like,
Yeah.
no, what are you talking about? No, I wasn't there. So anyway, um,
So
but
fame is power for you. You
fame
want to be
is,
you want to be powerful.
I wanted to be famous because I wanted the power that comes with fame. Fame allows you to do what you want to do. Why do you think people go after it? Look at the Housewives franchise, okay?
Mhm.
The Real Housewives.
Mhm.
These are just ordinary people, right? That
Mhm.
happen to be rich. So they're able to take their money, and transfer that into a television appearance. It's not really talent or a
No.
career,
No.
right? It's just, but then because they're so well known from this franchise, they're then able to take that and parlay it into what they really want out of it.
Mhm.
That's what fame is for. And that's why I don't hate on them,
Right. So, but for
even though I hate the
you,
shows.
so for you, you want to be famous because it gives you power to then do what you want,
Right.
right?
And that
What is
means,
that?
oh, well, so for instance, I love creating things.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So now there's two ways to get things made. You can either be a producer that has a track record of having things made,
Mhm.
and people say, well, of course we're going to do it with you. Look at all this other crap you've done. It's been wonderful. You produce. Or you can be famous.
Mhm. And throw a lot of money at things.
Well, no, people throw money at things for you because you're
Well, that's true.
famous,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
So
Well,
you
I'm
want to
not,
create more things. That's what I'm hearing you
right.
say.
And fame allows you to create, you know,
Okay.
fame allows you to create.
Uh-huh.
Where just being me right now, it's a tough road to hoe in order for me to make anything unless I make it myself. And, you know, that's an even tougher road.
Yes.
You know, you got to put crap on YouTube for like 10 years and then maybe something will pop. And I mean, I don't know, man. It's like,
I know.
so
And at
it's a,
our age, it's even harder. I've got years on you. Did you know that?
no, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You are such a liar. First of all, you can't look younger than me and be older than me and be white.
It,
Stop bragging.
it is true.
No, you are not. You are
When were you
lying.
born?
Don't worry, but let's not talk age, girl. I'm a TV person. Come on now.
Come on.
What you doing?
Well, I'll give you the information. I was born in 72.
Oh my God.
See? Hey.
How the hell did that happen? Now, you know I was born in 75, but damn. How did really?
Yeah. But I'm saying it to say that, in the media, in the world, and, now it's like, it's wonderful that everyone has access to a camera and a microphone and the glow lights and the everything that you need.
Right.
But at our age, it's like, I'm kind of right there looking at YouTube and looking at all this going, do I really want to?
I don't even want this crap.
I don't
Right.
either.
And it's because, quite frankly, you're a producer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how to make a show.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You've been doing it for a long time and you understand what, and then and then you see somebody like, hi guys, it's me, Amber.
And they get 10 million views.
Right. And it's like, and so today, here's what's going to happen. We're going to watch my friend Tyler play a joke on my friend Megan, and it's going to be really funny. And then and you're like, this can't be what passes for entertainment nowadays.
It is.
And it is.
It is.
And it is. And guess what? The only thing you can do is like, all right, where do I fit in that whole picture? Which I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
And I've tried a couple things, but I don't know. Or I could make stuff that really means something to me,
Mm-hmm.
Which costs millions of dollars.
And then you got to go back and get famous to get the millions of dollars.
And now we see the conundrum that is Chuck Nice's life.
Yes, I'm right there with you. A lot of us are, I think. And I see as I get older, this, that desire of like, well, I want to do what's important to me. And I don't want to stay so old school that I don't keep up with, the trends and the changes and whatever. But yet, I got to find a way to deliver me,
Right.
the way I want to. And it's so frustrating. It's so
Yeah.
frustrating.
And also too, you're at a point in your life, so am I, where there's a certain, weightiness for matters,
Hmm.
you know. Listen, in your 20s, and I look at people in their 20s and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? And then I think back to me in my 20s, I'm like, oh,
Oh, yeah. I
what the hell?
know.
Right. What the hell is wrong with me?
Yeah.
So like, of course that's what you're going to be about.
Yep.
Like right now, if you told me, let's go anywhere where there's a bunch of people, forget COVID,
Yeah.
just a big group of people. I'm like, you have a good time.
I am so like that. If somebody wants to go to a concert, I'm like, do we get front row tickets? Do you have a
Yes,
backstage
exactly.
pass?
Are we
Not,
backstage? Because I'm not coming. I'm not okay. All right. But if you're 20, you're like, this is awesome.
I know.
And so I mean, listen, you get to a point where things become more weighty because
Yeah.
the frivolity of life starts to peel away like old paint, and
Hmm.
it no longer offers you any type of satisfaction, solace, escape. It's like, nope, this doesn't do it for me.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so, I'm at that point right now.
Yeah, I am too.
So,
Well, I hope you reach your goals,
you
whatever
know,
they are.
I'm trying to figure out what they are now. I'm reassessing everything.
Yeah.
It's like I'm trying to figure out, you know, uh, how do I experience life?
Hmm.
Okay, presently, not as a memory,
Hmm.
not looking back and saying, oh, that was fun, not looking through a phone trying to capture the moment.
Right.
But how do I presently experience life with gratitude and joy so that as I move forward, what is felicitous becomes the the proper and good memories that it creates, and what needs to be experienced for learning becomes what it creates, so that everything that I'm doing, I'm feeling and it's happening now,
Right.
you know? And, when you start doing that, your whole life starts to fall apart in areas.
Yep. It changes everything.
It changes everything.
Yeah.
So,
It also
you know,
changes the happiness receptor in our brain, I think, because we become so much more attached to that satisfaction of what it feels like to have the feeling and experience of being rather than the idea of something that's not even real.
yeah. And what happens is when you have expectations that are, forget realistic, unrealistic, just expectations that are even met. Think of all the expectations that have ever been met in your
Mhm.
life, and then
Mhm.
think of how you actually responded to the finality of the expectation being met, juxtaposed against the journey that got you there.
Yes.
It's always a disappointment.
Always.
It's always a disappointment.
I know. When I look at like the TV show that I had you on, for example, I don't remember some of the guests. Not that they weren't great, not that it wasn't amazing, fantastic. To me, it was about the creating it. It was about the relationships. It was about, the challenge of it, the process of it. And the thing itself, or, I'm sure you have the same thing. Like if I were to say, what was your favorite episode that you did with a major celebrity? I mean, who
Who
knows?
knows?
It's because it's not about that,
Right.
right? It's
Yeah.
about you, what it took for you to become the person that was able to show up to do that thing,
Yeah.
and that's you becoming. And then you
Yeah.
did it. And then it's like, wow. And so that we have to remember those because those are huge, courageous, successful moments in our lives.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's where I am right now. I'm trying to, trying to navigate that, trying to figure that out,
Yeah.
trying to let that become kind of the platform
Mm,
for everything that I do,
that's
and
awesome.
I'm nowhere near it, but, I'll be there before long.
I think you're closer than you think.
Well, I appreciate that.
Well, for everybody listening, if you have a chance, go see Chuck Nice in live in person wherever you're starting to play out now again,
Yeah,
right?
I am. I'm always in New York City somewhere. If you come through New York, I'm at a club every weekend
Oh,
mostly.
cool.
you know.
Yeah.
And StarTalk, I'm with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I have a podcast called Pod Zero. Please go to SHHITSREAL, itsreal.com.
Okay.
And It's Real is a climate education entertainment campaign that I have started to use entertainment as a means of getting people to become activated with respect to the climate crisis. It is truly an existential threat that we all face. This is not a hoax. It is not, I know everybody says, yeah, I know about it. But what you don't know is really how dire it is. And I work with all the scientists that are working on this, and scientists are very bad at communicating. And so the world is in big trouble, and we don't know it because politicians don't want to do what is necessary because it will harm them, because it's going to take sacrifice, and nobody wants to sacrifice. Okay, let's be honest. Who wants to sacrifice?
Yeah.
All right. If you put a gun to my head and said, you got to die for your children, I'd be like, I don't want to do that. Nobody wants to sacrifice. Okay. I would do it. I wouldn't want to.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So please go to It's Real and, subscribe to Pod Zero and sign up for something called 10,000 Teachers, which is a campaign that we're starting in the fall, where we're trying to bring together. We already have almost 10,000 people now, but what we're trying to do is get as many people as possible to send them information that is shareable. Okay. So that everybody becomes their own individual climate teacher.
Oh, cool.
Each one teach one. So that's it. So that's
awesome.
what I'm doing. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's
I'm just trying to save the world. That's all. You know.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing to it.
No big goals there.
That's nothing big. That's all.
Well, I'll go check it out right now.
All right. Well,
all right. Thanks, Chuck. It was great to have you on the show again.
Thank you, Leah.